Hello, this week's Sedra is Sedra Maasei. Some people are reading it Matos Maasei. At the end of our Sedra, a fascinating legal dilemma is presented to Moshe. Its adjudication has legal and philosophical ramifications for Jews thousands of years later, till today. As the Jewish people neared Eretz Yisrael, they were told the land is to be apportioned by lottery, and the allotment shall be made according to the listings of the tribes. Each portion shall be assigned by lottery, whether for larger or smaller groups. The Sforno explained this. He said that even though portions of the land were given out by size and need, no tribe was given their portion of land except by way of this divine lottery. In this way, each tribe received their portion by way of God. Each portion was given to a tribe, and then, within the tribe's portion, to each family of each tribe, the portion of land would pass as an inheritance from male descendant to male descendant. This is where our problem begins. What happens when there is no male descendant? Jews came to Moshe to ask him this exact question. And the Jews said, God commanded to assign the land to the Jews through a lottery. And God further commanded the share of tzlafchad to his daughters, if you remember from a couple weeks ago. Now, if the daughters marry husbands from another tribe, their land will be cut off from our tribe and be added to the portion of the husband's tribe, and our tribe's portion will be diminished. So Moshe, recognizing the problem, instructed them at God's command the following. He said, the plea of the tribe is just. This is what God commanded concerning the daughters of tzlafchad. They can marry anyone they wish, provided that they marry a husband from their father's tribe. No inheritance may pass from one tribe to another, but the Jews must be bound to their tribe. Every woman who inherits land must marry someone from her father's tribe in order that every tribe keeps their ancestral share. The Talmud explained that the prohibition of women to marry outside their tribe was limited to Moshe's generation alone. The Talmud then asked, what is the special joy of the 15th of Av? Watch this. Rabbi Yehuda said that Shmuel taught this was the day on which the members of different tribes were permitted to enter one another's tribe by intermarriage. How did they get that? We just said it was prohibited. They derived the verses at the end of our Sedra that marrying within your tribe be practiced only in this generation when Eretz Yisrael was divided among the tribes. But afterwards, members of different tribes were permitted to marry. It's strange that the tribes would care whether their portions were enlarged or diminished. The portions weren't given out evenly anyway, and the tribes were all part of one undivided people who all had portions in Eretz Yisrael. So what's the difference? In addition, why would they be satisfied by a one-generation prohibition that would be negated a few decades later, seemingly renewing the problem of diminished portions of each tribe? It didn't really solve anything. So in his commentary on this section of the Talmud, the Tosfos Harid wrote that the limitation of the prohibition of intermarrying between tribes was actually taught by Moshe, but it wasn't publicized until the land was completely settled. The benefit of waiting to publicize this limitation was that the validation of the divine lottery and appropriation of the land was instituted. By insisting that the first generation of settling the land, that the portions of the land remain within the original lottery recipients, the tribes were ensuring that their portions were validated as divinely appropriated. By prohibiting the diminishing of portions, people saw the divine lottery as sacrosanct. It was only once the divine appropriation was validated in the first generation that intermarriage between tribes and diminished tribal lands were allowed. The lesson for Jews living today teaches us about the rights of the Jewish people to Eretz Yisrael. With so many doubting the legitimacy to the Jewish people's rights to the land of Israel, a Jew can begin doubting themselves. This week's Torah portion teaches the divinely valid claim that the Jewish people have to the land of Israel. Shabbat Shalom.